Jesus went around the earth according to the Holy Church, which helped to reassure people that they were the center of the universe. One day His Holiness the Pope met a man with a telescope and said, "Hey, Mr. Galilei, what does your spyglass say?" And the scientist spoke. He said, "It's really quite amazing, entirely life-changing. So let me ask before I show you, do you really want to know? Oh, do you really want to know? Oh, Emma read the Bible for direction. She said she was a child of heaven, and that the human race came from a higher place, from the angels descended. She wound up marrying her cousin. He was a thinker of a husband, lost and thought she'd find him. Say, "Charlie, what you writing?" Darwin looked up and said, "It's really quite amazing, entirely life-changing. So let me ask before I show you, do you really want to know? Oh, do you really want to know? Oh, do you really want to let knowledge like a breeze in through the door of your belief, blow through the rooms and the corridors, knock cherished heirlooms to the floor? That wind can raise the roof sometimes and leave you blinking at the sky. So if you stare into this glass, beware that there's no going back. You say sunrise, but it will refuse. Instead, the earth itself will move and spin you round from dawn to dawn into the wonder of it all. Oh, 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 do you really want to know? Oh, oh, do you really want to know?
Sometimes I lay under the moon, I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray you'll take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason.
Sometimes in my tears I drown,
but
I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because
all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars. Us children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, I pray.
2 minutes, don't we? Yeah, go back and play Melanie. That one's fun, I know. But this one's good too, I promise.
Hello, you family. I'm going to sing a song with you called Shine on Me. It's an amazing spiritual that anybody can sing. And in these days when the things that we're dealing with, the feeling separate and all of that, and things seem so hard, this is one of those songs that you just throw your head back, put it in your medicine kit. All you have to do is ask. And here's how it goes. Shine on me, oh shine on me. Let the light from the lighthouse shine on me, oh shine on me. Yes, shine on me. Let the light from the lighthouse shine on me. Lift me up, oh, lift me up. Let the light from the lighthouse lift me up, oh, lift me up. Yes, lift me up. Let the light from the lighthouse lift me up. Oh, hold me close. Yes, hold me close. Let the light from the lighthouse hold me close. Yes, hold me close. Oh, hold me close. Let the light from the lighthouse, please, hold me close. Oh, shine on me, shine on me. Yes, shine on me. Let the light from the lighthouse shine on me. Oh, shine on me. Yes, shine on me. Let the light from the lighthouse shine on me.
Good morning. Welcome to All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Susan Caldwell. I'm the Director of Religious Education here. And today is a special day. First, I want to ask you, are you comfortable if I take my mask off from this distance? All right, I hear big thumbs up. Thank you. I know there was some discussion last week about the fact that we're still masking, but I don't know if y'all know, Bossier now is considered high risk, and Caddo is back up to medium risk. What we are going to do, we had a discussion over the weekend with the board, and what we're going to do is keep the mask mandate here in place for a while longer. We're not as worried about the vaccine mandate or the testing, because I think the masks are the best way to prevent transmission. The vaccine keeps those of us who are vaccinated from getting so sick if we do get COVID. But I think looking at both, I think the masking has been the thing that we most want to preserve. And if you have a real difference with that, we of course want to hear about it, because that's what UUs do. You know, we discuss our differences about things lovingly and respectfully, of course. But that is what we have kind of decided for the time being. And before I go on with any more announcements, I would like you to sing with me, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, and you can stay seated. And since I'm singing, I'll put this back on. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come. Let's do it one more time. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come. Thank you. As I said, welcome to All Souls. Whatever your age, race, national origin, political affiliation, sexual orientation, gender identity, all of the ways that define who you are, if you care to worship with us, you are welcome here. And we thank you for being here and for choosing to spend your Sunday morning with us, whether you are here in the sanctuary or online. Ours is a covenantal faith. We are united not by a creed, but by the promises we make to each other for the way that we will be together in community. We look at the word worship, going back to its Old English roots of worthship or matters of worth. Our matters of worth can be many and very varied, but we like that. We learn from each other, we learn from our differences, we celebrate our common ground, and together we try to do what we can to make the world a better place. And we like to start off with a few announcements just so you kind of know what's going on, and I will bring Amanda Lawrence up here to do that.
Good morning, everybody. Got a couple of quick announcements. I first want to mention our Volunteer of the Month, Dawn! Yay! There's a terrific blurb in the outgoing email, which, by the way, is where I get all of this information. So you too could have all of the announcements at your fingertips if you just sign up and get the emails every week. There are maybe 2 a week. It's not going to flood your email inbox. It's got useful information, totally worth it. The little blurb, though, mentioned that it's hard to believe that Dawn's only been a member since 2019. And I'll be honest, I didn't think that was right when I read it. I felt like it has to have been longer that she's been a part of this church. And I think that's a testament to how integral she's made herself and how many ways that she's contributed to the life of the church. Building and grounds is probably the thing I think of her as being like the most helpful and the most engaged with. She also planned the camp out on the grounds, but she's also a really important voice in a lot of different conversations. And I'm glad she's here, and I'm glad that she was chosen as Volunteer of the Month. So if you see her, tell her how awesome she is and how much we appreciate all the things that she does. Second thing I wanted to mention is this month's Give Away the Plate recipient. All Souls donates its non-pledge income to causes that we believe are important and we believe are aligned with our principles. This month is Pride Month, and our Give Away the Plate recipient is Louisiana Trans Advocates. Louisiana Trans Advocates is a support group that provides encouragement and resources to people, especially in our region, who are trans and trans allies. This is incredibly important work that aligns with our first principle, inherent worth and dignity of every person. So we are proud that they host their meetings here in our building, and we are proud to support them financially. If you'd like to contribute, you can put your donations in the baskets at the back. You can make those donations online. I'm sure that as we speak, Steve Caldwell is putting information in the chat for anybody who's watching online, which will give you just probably a link to click to make that happen. There's a lot of other great stuff going on in the church, but it's kind of the same stuff that's usually going on. So I'm going to give you a real quick list of neat things you might be interested in, and then encourage you to ask somebody or sign up for that email if you want more information. Every Wednesday, there's a Zoom lunch. Every Saturday, there's a meditation. You can get together with friends in the evening via Zoom at the Salty Chalice. Building and Grounds is a great way to become Volunteer of the Month to help this this place. The Highland Blessing Dinner is one of the ways that our church gives back to our broader community. If those sound fun to you, ask somebody about them or sign up for the email. Thanks a lot.
I did want to remind you, and it may be that most of the people here have signed up by now, but I am going to pass it around anyway. The sign-up sheet for the Interfaith Assembly, which is this Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. at Brown Chapel on Centenary's campus. And I've got the new page lined up and everything. If you already signed, you don't have to sign again, but we have promised to bring 20 people, and we have now more than that signed up, which is great. But they always tell us sign up double what you want to show up. Except y'all are good about showing up. You know, when y'all say you're going to show up, you almost always do, and if you don't, there's some really good reason. So I'm not as worried about trying to get it up to 40 up or whatever. But anyway, I'm going to pass it around. And I'm going to ask you to do one more thing before we begin our service. And it's usually not a thing that people in pulpits like to do, but I'm going to ask you, look around, see who's not here, and if there's someone you can text and say, you know what, it's not too late, get here. Because this is a wonderful service today, and I would like as many people as possible to be here in the building with us. If you're at home talking to you, come on down. Come on down to All Souls and join us today. And now let us enter a spirit of worship. Many believe that religion is the place where we find answers and meaning to the unanswerable questions. For some, religion is the place where answers to the unanswerable questions about evil and violence, death, injustice, and cruelty reside. My Unitarian Universalism doesn't give me answers to unanswerable questions, but it does give me a faith big enough to hold my questions in a place beyond answers. My Unitarian Universalism gives me a way to see the light at the end of the tunnel, however far. The 20th century Unitarian theologian James Luther Adams said that our liberal faith holds that the resources, divine and human, that are available for the achievement of meaningful change justify an attitude of ultimate optimism. That we have the resources for meaningful change, and thus we should have ultimate optimism. I don't know about you, but that's been pretty hard for me lately. That's been pretty hard. And the graduates that we honor today have accomplished their schooling in the midst of an unprecedented time in our history. Pandemic, political unrest, the creeping threat of authoritarian control over the very act of learning. And yet they continue to learn, they continue to grow, they continue to speak their truth in incredible ways. And they can not only see, but be the light to which we all look with hope. But it's not just their job, right? It's our job too. I'm going to ask Ava Kate and Jackson, and you know what? Anybody else who would like to join us to lead the chalice lighting. Yeah.
We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. And this is the church of the loving heart.
Together, with mind, hands, and heart, we care for the earth and for each other. Thank you. You know what, y'all? The chalice needs a little bit of surgery. Oh. This is the fun thing about being a worship associate at All Souls, playing with fire and explosives. And this is chemistry, right, Amanda? Hey, chatting is an important part of board service. Never pass up a chance for a good conversation with a congregant. See, chemistry. And also in the light of the chalice, we have the words of Adrian Graham. We kindle a flame of power, illuminating the holy in each of our faces. We recognize in the flame a passionate commitment to our shared faith. We are held and carried from day to day, week to week, in the shining of the light. This flame is mine and yours. We are brought together on this day, called to growth, to expansion, to hope within its glow. If you'll rise in body or spirit and join me in the unison affirmation, it will be printed on the screen. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other. Our opening hymn is Love Will Guide Us. It'll be on the screen. It's also number 131 in the gray hymnal. And I thank Bob Jordan for being here to play for us. Y'all want to come help lead? Judy? Oh, you all right? 131, or it's up here, either way. I would like to call all of the children forward again. Excuse me. I appreciate the editorial help, but I got this. I'd like for all the children and youth to come forward. We always try to give a gift at the end of the year. And this year, and I actually have bubbles for you guys too, and I forgot to bring them in, so I'll give them to you after. But what's in here is your own little portable chalice. It's got a little flower pot chalice, it's got a candle, and it's got an altar cloth. So you can make yourself a little altar wherever you are. And Zoe and Jackson and Ava, I really appreciate you being here today. Hope maybe some more of your friends will show up before the day is over, but I really appreciate you making the effort to be here today. And for a lot of days, you two especially, a lot of days. We appreciate it very much, so thank you. I invite you to a time of quiet stillness in the presence of the Most High, whatever that may mean to you. Whatever words may most closely express that which is beyond words. May you take this time in communion with God, with the Spirit of life and love, with the highest and best that is within you, and or with the love and strength of this community that celebrates your triumphs and enfolds and supports you in times of struggle and sorrow. If you are spending time in darkness, may love point you toward the light. And if you have found your way to the light, may you reach back to help others along, in faith that when you pass through the darkness again, someone will do that for you. Resting in the safety of this place and these people, we enter the silence. Andrew Lawrence just graduated from Caddo Magnet High School, and his mom, Amanda, actually was the one to give him his diploma. His stepdad, John Allen, is here, and his sister, Eleonora. Andrew will attend Hendricks College in Conway, Arkansas this fall. He's been a part of the Allsouls congregation, I think, since you were 2 years old, if I'm not mistaken. And in 2020, he was part of the high school group that introduced the eighth principle to the congregation, which I think went a long way to convincing the congregation that the eighth principle was a good idea. So I'm very appreciative of that. And I asked Andrew's permission to tell my very favorite story, or one of my very favorite stories about him. I have another one, but this is probably my favorite. In March, for Women's History Month, we usually have this celebration of women service, right? And so every 4 or 5 years, I tell the story. I give it time in between so people can forget, and I tell this story that's kind of a riddle, and so I'll tell it to you. In the story, a famous surgeon and his son are traveling on a treacherous mountain road in the middle of a horrible blizzard. Tragically, they are involved in a terrible crash. The surgeon dies, and the boy is critically injured. Fortunately, a world-renowned trauma center is nearby, and EMS rushes the boy there. And the ER physician says, "This boy needs emergency surgery. Get Dr. Endicott here as soon as possible." Dr. Endicott is as prominent as the surgeon who has died. And so they call in Dr. Endicott, who gets all gowned and scrubbed and enters the ER and looks at the boy on the table and says, "I can't operate on this boy. He's my son." So how is that possible? Yeah, Kevin. Okay, see, you got that. This is a quick crowd. Well, you would be surprised that day and other days when I've told it that the most enlightened people will be looking all over the map. The answer, in case you didn't hear Kevin, is that the surgeon who came in was his mother, right? It's a celebration of women, so that was a big hint that I dropped right at the beginning. But you would be surprised. And so that day, and I think you were maybe 6, 7. I was trying to remember. You were pretty young, right? Yeah. Anyway, so people were coming up. Oh, it was the first one was his grandpa. Oh, this is his stepdad. I mean, there were all of these machinations that people were trying to do, saying everything but, the really simple answer that this was his mother. And so finally Andrew raises his hand, and I say, "All right, Andrew, give me the answer." And Andrew says, "Well, you know how some people have 2 moms? Well, they could also have 2 dads." And Amanda and I were like, "So this was so wonderful." And I said, "It's so wonderful that you came up with that answer. It's like so much progress. And yet," So anyway, Andrew, thank you for indulging me in that, because that will always be just precious to me. And Andrew has lent many of his thoughtful insights to worship services over the years and to his religious education classes, and we as a congregation are better for it. So please welcome Andrew Lawrence.
Thank you. So the other day, I was talking to my friends about our experiences in church and how it affected who we are and our childhoods. And I promise this actually happened, even though it just sounds very convenient for me. But from there, I started to think about if I had kids. And in that moment, I was certain that if it's what they wanted, that I would love if they came to Unitarian Universalist Church wherever I end up. And I know it wouldn't be quite as good as All Souls, but I still definitely think it's something that I would want. And one of the major reasons for that is because of how much I feel like this place taught me to be open and accepting. And I feel like those are 2 very important qualities as I enter adulthood.
and I feel like without the time I spent here, I wouldn't have them. And one of the ways that this place has taught me that is through the religious education program, which is, if I'm being honest, the thing I have the most experience with. And I don't really remember anything from being in the nursery or from being in the K through 5 class, but the middle and high school class I do remember, and it was definitely very enlightening for me. I feel like the things we were taught about other religions and other belief systems around the world gave me a little bit of perspective when living in Shreveport, Louisiana, it can feel a little bit like everyone is a Christian, which I know is not fair. But I feel like as I enter and experience more of the world, I will be better equipped to handle its diversity because of that. It was especially useful in middle school, where everyone is just the worst. It's just a fact. But one thing that helped me also about the RE classes was the community aspect of it. The fact that there was a place I could go where other people shared my beliefs and were open to learning. And I feel like the fact that there were kids my age and some kids that were slightly older than me that I could see as an example of the kind of person that I wanted to be. There was a period of my life where I wished that my family went to a Christian church, just because it would have made me less strange. I hadn't quite realized yet that it's just inherent and there's nothing I can do about it. So, but anyway, I did also have a fair amount of anger because I felt alienated by them. And I feel like without this place as an example of how church can feel, I think that I would be much more closed-minded towards church in general, and I don't think that's fair. And after some reflection, I am very, very glad that I did spend my time here, and I feel like I wouldn't have that openness if I hadn't. Another thing is that this congregation has shared some of my deepest beliefs about the world when it felt like I was alone in them. But also, what it gave me was the confidence to speak them, which I feel like is another very, very important quality as I make this transition into adulthood, and just an important quality for people to have in general. And I feel like one reason it's especially important to me is because I have all of the privilege, and I should probably use some of it. But the reason that I feel confident enough to speak my mind is because of the example that was set for me here by the adults of this congregation and by the children of this congregation. And I feel like without that example, I would definitely be less willing to speak my mind. And I think I would be worse off without it. I realized that the example that was set for me here is the major reason that I wanted my children to go to a Unitarian Universalist church. But it made me think about the kind of example I want to set in the world. And I'm really glad that the lessons that I learned here will be part of that example. These qualities and lessons are so important to me. And I know if it weren't for the time that I spent here, that I wouldn't have them. And if I didn't have them, then I think I would be a different person and I would be becoming a different adult. I think that these things will definitely help me navigate the world and help me become the kind of person I want to be. And for that, I want to say thank you to you all. I also want to say thank you for putting up with all of my interruptions, trying to be funny. And for that period of time where I just said chicken and then made chicken noises, listen, I don't know either. Thank you.
to both of you. It's a pleasure and a privilege to know you and to have you as part of our congregation. So we have a bridging ritual. It's something we do as Unitarian Universalists when young people go from high school into college or into whatever comes next for them. And the way that it works is we'll have the children and anyone who's taught RE and taught religious education, either this year or other years, that would like to stand on this side with the children. We'll do that. Oh, and thank you, Amanda. Amanda's getting the papers because it really is better if you have the paper in your hand. In fact, I'm not going to have the words for the ritual on the screen because people are going to be at different angles and it would just be harder to see. So I'm also going to move the candles. And I'll encourage you, most of you are wearing your masks anyway, but yeah, definitely keep those on because we'll be kind of close to each other. So again, children and youth and teachers on this side, and then adults, which includes you, college graduate. Oh, here's, yeah, here you go. So adults over here. And we have a few more obstacles this year, so it'll be fun. Y'all can come down this way. Because eventually you'll come forward to meet him. So the way this works is we'll say some things. We all have some things to say. And then at a certain point, this group here will walk Andrew over, and this group here will come forward to meet him. And so it's a crossing of the bridge. We call this a bridging ceremony because a bridge invites the traveler on a journey to an unknown land. At the same time, the bridge is planted in the homeland as well as the new territory, so the connection is not severed, only stretched. And so this ceremony is both an invitation and a hope, for we are inviting you to remember as you spread your wings that your roots are here with us, that your roots are here and that we are your faith community and your home. And that whether you are here with us geographically or far away, you're part of us and dear to our hearts. When you're here in this community, we hope the church will continue to be a part of your life. And if a time should come that life settles you in a far corner of the world or a not so far corner of the world, we hope that your connections here prompt you to look there for a Unitarian Universalist community. So we'll begin. Andrew, you stand before us today having grown beyond the child you once were when you first came to this community. For the gift of your spirit, for the gift of your leadership and commitment, for the gift of your creativity and your humor, including chicken, for the gift of your kindness, talent, and service that you have offered to so many here, for the gift of your activism and speaking up, we give you our thanks and our blessing. May you take with you the gift of our laughter and joy, the gift of our comfort in times of sorrow, and may you grow in mind, body, and spirit, forever a part of our community, wherever you may be. We honor you at this time of transformation.
I welcome your blessing and move forward in hope.
Okay, and then children and youth and teachers.
I welcome your blessing
For the gift of being with you on your journey to adulthood, we give you our thanks. May you take with you the gift of our listening and the stillness of the heart. May you take with you the gift of our love and caring for the child you were and the adult you have become and are becoming. We honor the new perspectives you bring to our community and stand with you as you face the uncertainties of a future you cannot know. We bless you now as you move into that future and its opportunities. We honor you at this time of transformation.
I welcome your blessings and move forward in hope.
Okay, so y'all can now walk him over. Not yet, that comes later. No, the walking part comes now, yeah. Okay, and so now the adults. For your fresh vision and inspiring energy, we welcome you. For your questions and challenges, we welcome you. Today, as you take your place beside us, we wish for you only the best as you pursue your life's journey, wherever it leads. May this church and this faith ever be a home to which you can return. We bless you now and pledge our support. We honor you at this time of transformation.
I welcome your blessing and move forward in hope.
We know that all life flows into a great common life if we will only open our eyes to each other. Let us recommit ourselves to our common life, to our parents and our children, to our siblings of every age, that we may share our sorrows and our joys, growing in mind, body, and spirit as individuals and as a faith community. To this end, may our hearts be turned. So may it be. Thank you all. And before, And so before we do the next part, which is, the fun part, I do want to invite the graduates back up again, and I guess I'll ask you to tip the, thank you. And I do have some gifts for you. Andrew, I have a book for you that is not, I apologize for it. But we have a chalice medallion. And for both of you, this is a chalice keychain, and it's to open new doors and also to light the way home. So kind of both. And I found this book for you that is about the historical relationship between Jews and Christians and Unitarians, and so I thought that was kind of perfect. So thank you both, and I'll let you put your stuff. Oh, and here, have a chalice.
Thank you.
So if you want to put your stuff down, we'll have a tunnel.
Let's do it.
I always ask the graduates, so do you want to do the tunnel this year? Because it is their choice, and they were like, well, yeah. So one thing we loved from last year was the pool noodles. So what we're asking you to do, find a partner, and we'll start with Jackson and Zoe, and then your teachers. And what you're going to do, you get a partner and hold the noodle like in an arch. Like maybe. Yeah. Can you grab the other end? Oh, yeah. I know. those are the letters, I-M-A-U-U-I-U, which also spells what? Ima, uru, Ima, uru, Ima, uru, Ima, okay. And so half of us are going to chant that, and the other half will sing. Watching and welcoming you, watching and welcoming you. Got it, got it. All right, and so just pick your part, and you can switch back and forth, that's fine too. And so the next people, whoever's next, will go underneath and then form the arch. All right? Ima, Ima, and the graduates go last. Ima, 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 Y'all make the arch back there. Welcoming you, watching and welcoming you. Welcoming you, watching and welcoming you. Watching and welcoming you. Thank you. Y'all were great. You should give yourself a hand. have a closing song. It is Swimming to the Other Side. And the words will be up on the screen. Yeah, you can clap for that. That's all right. And Bob's going to come and help us out again, and Judy. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm going to take my mask off.
Let's see.
Whatever that is.
I was thinking it was a C.
Key of C.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to play it a little bit? You know
We are living in the great big difference. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together. Some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the means that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. I am alone and I am searching, hungering for answers in my time. I am now at the brink of wisdom, on obligation to receive a sign. I move forward with my senses open, in perfection give me my pride. In humility I will listen, we're all swimming to the other side. We are living in the great big difference. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together. Some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the means that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. In this journey through thoughts and feelings, finding intuition, my head high. I am gathering the tools together. I'm preparing to do my part. All of those who have come before me, band together and be my guide. Loving lessons that I will follow. We're all swimming to the other side. We are living in the great big difference. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together. Some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the means that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. When we get there, we'll discover all of the gifts we've been given to share. Heaven given this life's beginnings, but we never noticed they were there. We can bounce at the brink of wisdom, never recognizing that we are right. Loving spirits will live together. We're all swimming to the other side. We are living in a great big difference. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together. Some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the means that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. Spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side.
Very good.
Big thanks to Bob and Judy. And now in our continued journey toward the light, let us take time to acknowledge, to celebrate, and to be truly thankful for the blessings we receive each day and those we are about to receive right about now. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be. Go in peace. Thank you so much to our graduates.
Jesus spoke, entreating them to live together in a great circle of love. And when his followers asked him then who should be included, Jesus said, let everybody in, everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle, everybody, 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 everybody into the circle, circle. Oligarchs and tyrants try to keep some in and everyone else outside, till revolution sweeps across the land and the people all stand and the common folk cry, let everybody in, everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle, everybody, 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 everybody into the circle, circle. Sometimes a circle is a class or creed. Sometimes a circle is made of only men. Until Susan B. Anthony says, what about me? Let me in, let everybody in, everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle, everybody, 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 everybody into the circle, circle. Sometimes a circle is a privileged thing, excluding people for the color of their skin, until the voice of Martin Luther King says, let freedom ring, let them in, let everybody in, everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle, everybody, 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 everybody into the circle, circle. Gay and straight, rich and poor, whole and broken, open up that door. The more we are, the greater we become. After all, we all are one. Bring in the people, but don't stop there. Bring in the fish in the sea and the birds in the air. Bring in the rivers wide and the mountains tall. We go together, not at all. Let everybody, everybody, everybody into the circle, circle, everybody, 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 everybody into the circle, circle, everybody, everybody, everybody into the circle, circle.